I have another editing video for you guys on the Photog Nation, and also this is going to be a free video on YouTube. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you like this content, maybe you should consider joining the Photog Nation. It is an online photography school where I teach you editing. I teach you the business sides of running a photography business. I show you behind the scenes on weddings, engagement shoots, lighting seminars, and a little bit everything in between on how to create a successful photography business for yourself. Now, we're going to get into it. Photog Nation members, thanks for joining again. And I think you guys are really going to like this one. Now, this video is to show you guys how I took and I put Faizan in this dingy, dusty, musty place in his amazingly red outfit and showed that you can get some elegance in the middle of destruction, grunge. So that's what I did. I'm going to put the raw image down in the description for the class. You can download the raw, you can follow right along, and we are going to get into this. Now, we shot this in Chicago this past weekend. It was an amazing time. There are tons of videos coming from that. I shot 5 sessions in 6 hours, and all different models, all different locations, all different themes. And you guys will get to see not only some of the editing videos, but you'll also get to see the behind the scenes from all of them. We filmed them all, so make sure that you watch out for those. Those are going to be in their different course sections of the Photog Nation. And once again, if you're watching YouTube and you want to join, photognation.org. Link is in the description down below. So let's get into it. So this is the picture of Faizan. This is the one we're going to be working with. And like I said, he was amazing. I love that red outfit. I think it stuck out in what is going to be a dingy, musty, dusty, brown tone photo. And yeah, I think we're just going to get right into it. And we're going to talk about how I did it. So the programs you're going to need Lightroom, you're going to need Photoshop, you're going to need Color Effects Pro 4, and you're going to need Topaz Studios. Now, links to all of those are in the course under the freebies and direct link section lesson. Go download those. Some of them are paid programs. Well, all of them are paid programs. Some of them you may already have. Some of them you may have used my discount codes for. But you're going to need those. Now, you can skip a few of these as you're going if you don't want to get these programs. But to get the actual effect that I used where it's really detailed and really like almost like a painting look, you're going to need all of these programs. And you're going to need to do them in the steps that I'm about to show you. So let's do these steps and let's make this happen. All right, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start out in Lightroom. We got our photo, and we are going to bring the shadows up. Now, you're not going to notice that these are doing a lot of stuff yet. It's basically, the way that I work is I do a lot of little micro adjustments in each program, and then by the time that you're done completely editing, it's a different photo. So if that makes sense, like you don't notice a lot of differences right away until you get to the end and you're like, holy crap, we done a ton of stuff to this photo and it looks awesome compared to where it was. So this photo is already really cool. It needs that Josh Russell touch to it. So shadows are going to go up. Highlights are going to go up. Not too much with the highlights. We don't want to blow anything out. We can take those shadows up a little bit more. We'll bring the texture down just a little bit. And we're going to bring the dehaze up to like 10 to 15-ish area. Now, as you see, we didn't do much to it already. It's just, we're just kind of bringing some of the stuff out a little bit. And I'm going to go down here to my S-curve, and we're going to drop one in the shadows here and just bring it up a little bit, right about there. That's all the further you need to go with this. You don't need to take it super far in Lightroom because now we're going to move over into Color Effects Pro. And I'm going to show you how to do the detail extractor. So that's what you're going to be using in Color Effects Pro. You're going to be using detail extractor. So right-click on the image, Color Effects Pro. Yes, edit with Lightroom adjustments. And we'll be right back when this is ready. All right, so we got our photo into Color Effects Pro. And detail extractor is the one we're going to be working with. So just make sure that is on the image that's highlighted, detail extractor. And this is the stock that you're going to see. Now, you can already see that this is completely different looking. I mean, how can I don't know how to do it. Compare. There we go. straight out of camera or straight out of Lightroom with a few micro adjustments. And then here's the detail extractor. It's already done a fantastic job, but we're going to take it a little further. Detail extractor. We're going to start bumping that up till we get to right about there. Let's go 50%. So we're adding an extra 25% onto what it already had on there. Now, because we did that, you can see that it has kind of made the photo look a little awkward. Let's not go that far in. Let's go to like 200%, 100%. And then we'll move this little box up here. So as you can see, it's a little funky looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to, can I get back to regular? Whoa, too far. How about there? That'll work. All right, so what we're going to do, can I just zoom in one more, please? Nope, that's all you get. All right. There. I guess that's going to have to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this contrast up a little bit because that's going to bring some normalcy back into the photo because I don't want it to look like super crazy. So this is right out of Lightroom. This is where we're at now. And then we're just going to bump this saturation up just a little bit too, just because I want those browns to come out and I want those greens to come out and all of that. So this is a good spot. 50%, 38 to 40%, and like 15%. So we're going to go save. This is going to go back into Lightroom. Now, when you get back into Lightroom, you're not going to touch the photo. We're not going to do any edits in Lightroom. We're going to take it straight over into Topaz Studio, and we're going to do some clarity cleanup. Okay, so we got our photo back into Lightroom. And like I said, we're not going to touch it. We're literally just going to right-click again. We're going to edit in, and we're going to go down to Topaz Studio. We're going to edit with adjustments. It's going to take it over into Topaz, and we're going to edit in there. Now, like I said, while we're waiting for this, you will be able to watch the behind the scenes from all of these sessions coming real soon to the course. They may already be there depending on when you're watching this. But as of right now, when I'm recording this, they're coming. Okay, so we are at this point. We got it into Topaz Studios. We're going to go down to Clarity. We're going to hit Clarity. We're just going to click on Clarity. We don't need to like click any of these or anything. We're literally just going to click Clarity, and what it's going to do is it's going to open this precision contrast. This is what we want. We want precision contrast. And this is kind of trial and error, and we're just going to kind of figure out where we want it. So if you go up with this, you're going to add a ton of contrast. As you can see, it looks weird. We don't want to do that. And if you go all the way down, you're going to just butter the whole photo up. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a nice little spot where we want to be in between. So we're going to plus 20-ish. And then what I do with these is the micro, I go to the furthest one side or the other. And then I just create kind of a slant with each of the other ones. So because we went here, let's go up just a little bit more with this one just so I can show you what I mean here. So that one's there. With this one, we're going to go kind of right there. And then this one will go even more. So what I've done is I've created kind of a slant with all of them. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a very good, clean contrast to it. So then we're going to come down to lighting. Lighting's going to, and then basically let's just take it one way or the other and see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to darken this a little bit. We want this photo to be a little bit on the edgy side here. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to make a slant. Now what you've done is you've taken all of that detail you added to the photo by using Color Effects Pro, and then you've kind of toned it down with the clarity. So that's the way that I do it. Nothing else you need to worry about touching. Just hit save. It'll save. Go back to Lightroom and wait for that to update, and you'll be able to see it here in a minute. So we have our updated photo. The contrast is there. Everything is good, and honestly, you could probably send this to print right like this. This is a fantastic photo. It looks great already. But this still isn't quite the Josh Russell look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right-click. Once again, we're not going to touch anything in here. Right-click. We're going to take it into Photoshop. Edit in Photoshop. Boom. Bob's your uncle. Bob's not your uncle yet. Can't say that until we're done. edit it in Photoshop, and then you're going to be almost done. But you're not yet. There's so many steps left to this. So now that we're in Photoshop, we are going to start colorizing this photo. Now, what I use is Grunge's photography Lightroom or Photoshop LUTS. I'll put a link in the description here, both on the Photog Nation and on YouTube, to where you can go buy these. Now, I use the LUTS as a jump-off point. They're kind of like Lightroom presets, so I use them as a jump-off point and then kind of tweak them and change them to my style and layer them. So we're not going to do anything right away except for we're going to create a new layer. That way we're not messing up the original layer in case we screw something up. And we're going to make sure we have adjustments right here. We're going to click this grid, this checkerboard, and basically what this is doing is it's going to allow us to lay a LUT over it. So if we wanted, we could just pick one of these that are stock in Lightroom or in Photoshop. I don't know why I keep saying Lightroom. So they have a ton of them you could add on there. And actually this drop blues looks kind of cool. Let's leave that one on there. I like that. And then what we're going to do, we have that one on there. We're going to add another one. So we'll click this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of these Grunge ones here from my downloads. And we're going to go into downloads. I have all sorts of ridiculous stuff in here right now. I need to clean this. Creativity pack. And we're going to go into LUT files. And this is where we're going to kind of just start messing with them a little bit, see what we like. So now see, this is also looking really good. So all I want to do with this one is I just want to take the opacity down a little bit with it. I don't want it quite as crazy as it was. And then we'll add another one. Let's add another one. Let's get nuts with it. Let's go down here and do like, there's a blue one. Fresh blue, is that it? Yep. And then we will, once again, take this, take the opacity down on it. And right there, like, I like that look a lot. Now, I really like this look, but I don't like how it looks on Faizan. So what I want to do is I'm going to mask all of these colors out and just make them work more with the background, and then just a little bit on Faizan. So it's going to be a density thing. What you're going to do is you're going to highlight all of your lookup tables, depending on how many you used, and highlight those three. Click this little hamburger stack here and go to new group from layers. We're going to name this colors. And then we're going to so right here, right now we have all three colors on one layer here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the little mask right there. We're going to mask it out. Now, for time's sake, I'm going to quick mask him. I'm going to go like super fast and just kind of draw on him and get all of it out. But I highly advise taking your time with this. Now, because I am just doing this for the class and I've already created the final photo, I'm not going to take my time. You guys get the idea. I'm not going to bore you by sitting here and coloring the whole time. You just want to mask him out and make sure you got everywhere that the light touches, kind of like Lion King. We'll take our mask down a little bit. Like I said, I'm not coloring in the lines. I'm not staying true. I am just going buck wild with this just because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bore you guys with masking. You guys understand how masking works. And if you don't understand how masking works, look for a video. I have one out about masking. But basically, we're going to mask his whole body. All right. So we have his whole body masked. Let's zoom out one so you can see. Now, I feel like it looks awkward. Like, now he's too noticeable that he's not in there. Let me just do his hair here, too. Boom. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have properties open, and then density, you're going to take your density down. And basically, if you go all the way down, that's going to completely erase your mask. If you go all the way up, it's going to completely show your mask. So find that happy spot in the middle where it doesn't look awkward, but he's not completely colored then. So like right about there, I'd say 35 to 30% is good for this photo. So that's where you want to be. Now, we're going to do another thing here, and we're going to add some light flares in here. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to make a new layer. We're going to make sure we just have a regular brush. Let's go up with the size, like all the way. Let's go all the way down with the hardness. And we're just going to click and make a dot. Now, because this is a giant photo, that might take a minute. We're actually going to take this. We're going to put it under the color photo. We're going to put the layer under there, and then we're going to resize this. So I want to zoom out even more so I can resize it even bigger. We're going to put it like that. We're going to make it real big. Then we're going to drag it up here and drop it in right about there. Now it looks like there's a street light up here. The only thing that I would probably do, because of the awkwardness of it, is what I would do is I would take it and let it transform first. Probably colorize it. So hit Control or Command U. Bring this in and saturate. Bring the color down. And then just bring it to like a warmer tone. And then bring the saturation down a little bit. Then you're not so like creating a crazy color with it. But you are creating a light source there. So now you can see, let me zoom in one more here. Now you can see what we've done is we've just created a light source, and you could probably even move it up a little bit more. Because you don't want it to be like crazy overpowering, but you want it to be there. Move it up even a little bit more. Right there. Like so it's barely even doing anything. Just kind of bringing that light in a little bit. And I think that's pretty good. So what I will do is I'm going to hit Control or Command S, save it. It's going to take it back into Lightroom, then updated. And this photo's pretty much done. I'm just going to do one more step to it. So we're back in Lightroom, the room of light. And you got your updated photo here. Now, let me just show you the difference. So this is where we started right here. And this is where we're at. So like I said, you don't notice it, but it's crazy how much we've added into this. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take and I'm going to make a radial mask. I'm going to draw over Faizan. I'm going to make sure that it's not inverted. Right here, feather invert. And I'm going to drop the exposure just a little bit. Like I could make it all the way, but I'm going to drop it just a little bit. I'm going to bring the contrast up a little bit, and we're going to bring the clarity up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a finished photo right there. That is how I would edit this thing. This is fantastic. It's grungy. It's dusty. It looks awesome. So that is going to be 20 minutes or so editing this photo and making it look amazing. It's that easy, guys. I want to thank you guys for being a Photog Nation member. One more time, if you're not and you're watching this on YouTube for free, please consider joining the Photog Nation. It helps me out tremendously, and you guys will learn how to become a professional photographer. Even if you are a professional photographer, it'll teach you some things that you might not know. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy.